Welcome back. Episode 6, I think. believe.
Five or six. I don't know.
Six. Took a week off. Ben and Brandon just too big time for us. They just couldn't make time for the pod. But
I didn't want to do it either, to be honest.
you guys texted us about doing it, and it had gotten to be like almost 9 o'clock, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing it now."
Oops.
No, big time college athletes,
Yeah.
Busy.
Missed a couple weeks.
Just
Trying
one.
to think back. Well, missed 1 week, but I'm trying to think what happened that week, other than we've seen the demise of my team. But I don't remember what else happened week 3. That was what? Where was what
Oklahoma, Michigan.
No, that was week 2.
We talked about that week, I thought.
Did we?
We talked about that week.
It was Texas A&M, Notre Dame, Florida, LSU.
Oh, I went 6-1 that week.
Oh yeah.
Nasty.
Miami beat South Florida. Vandy beat South Carolina. Killed South Carolina.
Yeah, I gotta go look at
Georgia.
picks again.
The Georgia-Tennessee game, that was probably the best.
Oh, wait,
game.
that game was awesome.
Oh yeah, that game was awesome.
That game was sick.
As of right now, would you say game of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that Texas A&M Notre Dame game was just not as on. Was also awesome.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that was my right the ship week where I went 6-1. All right.
No, but actually, through that Tennessee kicker.
Yeah.
I hate that guy. I hate that guy.
The kid tried his best.
Yeah, he try harder. Loser.
It was a good
we all actually had pretty
Literally
decent weeks this week. We all had winning records and picks this week.
I'm about to go perfect this week.
Okay. Nobody asked, but
I had a winning record this week.
I think the lowest.
No, Brandon didn't. Brandon did not have a winning record. If I remember correctly, I think you got like 2 games right.
That was last week.
This week or 2 weeks ago.
Last week you had a bad one, but this week you got the Michigan game right, the Miami game right, the Duke game right, and the TCU game right. You went
4-2.
4-3.
Fuck.
You went 4-3.
Oh, bro, but Auburn should have won that game though, so that would make me 5-2 because they won that game. So
okay, well,
I mean, pass interference. That's pass interference.
It definitely was pass interference, but did they call it? No. So who's number 7 in the country now and still undefeated? Oklahoma.
Yeah, but
but the other thing that we probably should talk about is the Mateer injury.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, how about that Indiana game? That was wild.
Didn't watch it.
63-10.
Don't want to talk about
Yeah,
That was crazy.
Killed them.
I picked that game right.
Congratulations for a
You
loser.
guys are all idiots.
Texas finally looked good last week too.
It was
Yeah,
Sam.
that'll be interesting. Now,
They played worse teams and looked worse.
they have.
Yeah, well,
That'll be interesting because now
Gavel and started yelling at random DBs that probably didn't get recruited out of high school.
Yeah, they committed to D6 schools, but
Missouri beat
it's
South
interesting
Carolina.
because in 3 weeks, I believe it's 3 weeks, is the Red River rivalry. So Texas, Oklahoma, and
yeah.
Mateer will obviously be out.
But Davis's boy
Does Texas have black magic?
What?
Shut up. Texas has black magic. They're cheating. That's supposed to be a good game.
I still think it'll be a good game. I mean, I think Oklahoma's defense, to be honest, is really good.
Their defense
So,
is so good.
Yeah, that's true.
But and then big games this week. Obviously, this is probably, other than week 1, the best slate that we've had, like top to bottom. With Oregon at Penn State, Alabama at Georgia, LSU at Ole Miss, USC at Illinois, all ranked matchups. I think the Notre Dame at Arkansas game is pretty interesting, actually, because Notre Dame hasn't necessarily looked great, and Arkansas looked pretty good against Ole Miss. Actually had a chance to win that game. So I think that game could be interesting. And then the TCU Arizona State, like everybody had these big preseason expectations for Arizona State, and it feels like it's like flipped in the Big 12. Like I feel very confident in Texas Tech right now. And then TCU's looked awesome. Their quarterback's been on.
That kid can sling the rock.
Yeah. So I think that game could be interesting also. So pretty good slate of games this week. But I guess, there's probably more that we can cover, just some reactions to stuff that's happened this past week. Obviously the big news, I feel like nationally it's been pretty big news, is just Clemson starting 1-3. I know I'm a Clemson fan, but I feel like that's kind of been the talk of a lot. Worst start under Dabo. Cade Klubnik sucks. I don't know how Timmy was right. Nobody else seemed to be.
That wasn't a crazy guess from me either.
I wouldn't say I didn't think he was going to win the Heisman. I didn't think he was going to be the best quarterback in the country. I would not have agreed with any of that.
You did think he was going to be number 1 overall pick.
I said people had him projected to be. I didn't say that and if you had actually asked me about it further, which we didn't necessarily talk about it. Ben, go ahead, put that hand up. You picked him.
60 texts on my phone in less than a minute.
Hand of accountability. I picked Klubnik to win the Heisman and Clemson to win a Natty, and those are completely out of the window now. And I should probably just hop off the pod because I think that devalues every single thing I've ever said.
It's just I'm just so confused. Florida State last year, everybody's kind of comparing it to that, and Florida State was ranked, they were ranked 12th or whatever when they lost. Georgia Tech ended up winning 2 games or whatever, but I think this is significantly worse. It's a returning quarterback.
Definitely worse.
All these returning receivers, it was pretty much the same team from last year that won 11 games, and you start out the season and you go 1-3 and you lose by double digits to Syracuse at home. I genuinely just don't understand what happened. What happened between January and August that made this team worse. Not necessarily just not get better, worse. It's not like we lost anybody big. It's not like it's pretty much the same team. Cade Klubnik looks horrible. We have the receiving core that everybody talked about. I get it. And Tony Williams was hurt, whatever. He looked okay this week, but everybody was talking about TJ Moore being awesome. We literally have 2 players on offense, and it's the running back who was literally a wide receiver who puts more effort in than everybody else on our team. And then Bryant Wesco, who's looked good just because we've had to force feed him the ball because we've been losing in every single game that we've played.
Did y'all start selling alcohol at the stadium this year?
Yeah, we did. We started.
That's your fucking answer. Cade Klubnik's getting drunk before the fucking game. That's what's fucking happening.
I hope so. I hope he's buying those $16 beers, wasting all his dumbass NIL money. He had a freaking press conference the other day, and he was like, "I'm kind of the guinea pig in all this.
Stupid.
I didn't necessarily come to college to make all this money or whatever." And I was like, yeah, but I know for a second that if Clemson didn't pay you $3 million, whatever they're paying you, you'd leave immediately and go somewhere else. You don't act like that's not true. And I'm not saying that it's an issue because obviously it's happening everywhere and everybody's getting paid. But at some point you got to hold these guys accountable. They're making all this money and then you're just, for what? Cade, it's literally the point where if Clemson is really trying to set up going forward because of how much we're going to lose, at some point we're just going to have to start giving other guys a shot because we're not going to win anything this year. Dabo's kind of got a thing in his head if we're not going to win this year, I got to try to get other people snaps. If it keeps going on the trajectory it's going. I understand you've only played
an absolute dumpster fire.
We already are.
Yeah, but that's how you make people aren't gonna want to ever play for him again if he just starts sitting people that have draft stock or draft.
I'm not saying that he's just gonna completely bench Cade Klubnik. I'm saying just start try to figure out packages. If we did it against LSU, we ran a package for our backup quarterback in the LSU game. We'll just start doing more stuff like that. Just
hey, that's the same. That was the first game of the year. You had no idea that you were going to be absolutely god awful.
I understand. Well, we haven't run any packages in the last 3 games. Arguably, that was our best showing of the year was LSU, and we looked horrible. Just the fact that we only lost by 7 points instead of like it has just
Yeah,
been.
no, I mean, I don't know how else you can say it other than it's just a complete flat out embarrassment. My thing is so when I talked to you about it, Smitty, I said, is there any chance that Dabo gets fired? And you said he was quote unquote unfireable.
Yes,
Correct.
he is.
How? Like how? Like if I'm an AD, like
Well, I
fired.
mean,
You can fire Mike Gundy after 30 total years with the school.
Nobody is unfireable.
Mike Gundy never won. Mike Gundy never won anything.
Okay, but like
Mike Gundy had a
how
stretch
much-
of 18 winning seasons in a row.
Dabo.
Yeah, but Dabo has a stretch of 14 seasons in a row of only one time not winning 10 games. Dabo is, in the grand scheme of things, in like the history of college football, is arguably, I'm not saying he is, I don't know the names and everything, arguably a top 10 coach of all time.
Okay. Dave yourself.
I wasn't, no, it's obvious. I'm not saying he's only won 2. There's plenty of people that have won way more than that. But he's won 2 at Clemson, is a school that personally, I remember what times were like pre Deshaun Watson, pre Taj Boyd. Like, I remember the seasons where we won 8 games and it was considered a good season. I'm not going to become spoiled and act like I don't remember that Clemson has not been this national powerhouse forever and ever. We're not Alabama. We're not Ohio State. Like, that is not what we've been. We had an elite run of years, and people are starting to get spoiled by the fact that, like, we're not doing that anymore, but like, what was it? 2 years ago, Kate was a freshman. We had arguably one of the worst teams talent-wise that we've had, which is what's disappointing about this year, because it's not. And we won 9 games and won a bowl game. And
I don't know how the rest of this year is going to finish out, but say you have a similar year next year, like how's he not gone?
who else? Who are you going to want? Who are you going to want to replace him?
Bro, I'm not. To me, like at some point, like the fire runs out. Like if he does this again next year, like they have enough for his. I looked it up, $60 million buyout. Like they have enough. Clemson has enough money for that. Like if I'm just saying, not this year, because like it could 100% be a one-off, but like if it happens again next year, like at some point, like you got to recognize that like the time is done. Like it's time for a new face.
As much athletic success as y'all have had in other sports in recent years, you're not making as much money off of those sports as you are off your football program. So if you have another shitty year, like you have to at least, like the people in charge have to at least consider what it would be like to get rid of Dabo and put in a coach that they think would actually win games again and put them back on the national stage, because you're going to lose a lot of money if you have 2 shitty seasons in a row. You know what I mean?
I mean, maybe the administration thinks about it. I will never be on the fire Dabo train. I will never. I will.
I mean, I'm not on it either. I'm just saying, I feel like it's not out of the realm of possibilities if it continues to happen.
Yeah,
that's all
I can't see him ever.
Like I when I think of Clemson football, Dabo Swinney is synonymous with Clemson football. You don't have one without the other. But you have to think realistically. You have to think objectively. Like, if this path continues, if this road doesn't have an end in sight, like something has to change, or at least the administration has to consider it.
Yeah, I kind of have a question, and I'm not comparing the 2 coaches' resumes. I'm not trying to. I'm comparing their coaches' resume in comparison.
He's about to say the S word. He's going to say the S word.
I'm saying that Dabo Swinney is to Clemson as Nick Saban was to Alabama, in the grand scheme of like what Clemson has accomplished in total as a college football program. Dabo Swinney is Alabama's Nick Saban, like to Clemson. Like Clemson obviously has never accomplished as much as Alabama or as Nick Saban has, and they're not the same level of coach. Nick Saban is definitely, like, not even questioned the greatest coach of college football history. But to Clemson, that is Dabo. Dabo is by far the
I
greatest.
mean, you
coach
could
ever.
you could literally just pick any school's greatest coach ever and say the same thing about him. So like,
Yeah, but not many. But how many schools have won 2 national championships in the last 15 years?
yeah, no, I know what you're saying, but like,
Like Dabo, whenever Dabo decides to leave, Dabo is going to have a statue built. The stadium is probably going to be named after him. Like it is, like he is going to be the guy at Clemson for a very long time just because of what he's done. I mean, the stadium is named after a coach that literally never won anything. Like he wasn't even the coach when we won our last national title. So it's
Maybe
like
he was a good guy.
no, he was a good guy and he was a good coach, but like winning multiple national titles at Clemson is not like not normal. Like even that's even an argument. Like Alabama's won how many national titles? I couldn't even tell you the number. It's like 18. Like it's a stupid number. And like obviously Saban won like 6 or 7, but like Dabo winning 2, like that's more than half of what Clemson's won ever. Like Clemson's won 3 national titles and Dabo's won 2 of them.
What?
6-7. Sorry.
I kept looking at you guys doing that and I was just waiting for one of you to say something. But I can't see, like Dabo's the guy that I will see in my head, like he's got to go out on his own terms. He's just meant that much to the school and to the program. Like he's put so much of his own money. He's got his whole foundation. Like it's like so much of Clemson is Dabo Swinney, and I don't want to see necessarily like it's bad now, but I think it would be like inherently worse if Dabo left.
I mean, I understand what you're saying from like the whole, he's a Clemson GOAT standpoint. Would you say the same rule applies in the league, like NFL? Because I want to get Brandon's take. Like, you could say the exact same thing about Bill Belichick.
But that's
He got fired.
different. It's a business. College football is not nearly as much of a
College
business.
football is a business.
You don't think college football is a business?
College
It is
football is
I'm not saying it's not, but it's more of a
$16
business
beers,
than,
haven't
like,
you?
college football is a business, especially today. Maybe not 15 years ago, but most definitely today.
I think it's slightly different with I agree. Like, I don't think Timmy's point here is far off with the Belichick comparison. I think it's slightly different because in the Patriots era, obviously, like it was 2 people synonymous, not just one.
I feel like I'll just add like
But I do agree with Timmy's point. Like if Kraft can fire Belichick, then whoever your AD is can 100% fire Dabo. Like I do feel like that's a similar thing. I will say, I mean, Bill Belichick had 4 years after Brady left, 3 years after Brady left. So obviously more time than Dabo has had. Obviously, we're
yeah, but like, do you compare that to when Dabo had Trevor Lawrence? I'm not, and I'm again.
But that's the difference you're making. But you saying it's not a business is false. But there are differences. Like Trevor Lawrence, it wasn't with Dabo for, like the whole Dabo era, whereas Brady was with Belichick pretty much for the whole Belichick era.
Yeah, I mean,
So
if Clemson has 2 years and we like don't make a bowl game, like people are like,
all right.
You're gonna make a bowl game this year still, bro. It's just gonna be
I'm not saying I don't think we are, but, like, I'm saying theoretically,
dude.
If a team like Clemson goes 2 years without making a bowl game, just tear down the stadium.
Low-key, that's actually probably where you're gonna go. I'm not gonna lie.
You're probably right, but like
I like making the joke
that's
Cheez-It Bowl. I like
think
making the Cheez-It Bowl joke, but you guys aren't good enough for the Cheez-It Bowl this year. You guys aren't cut out for it. So
I actually don't want to see you guys in the Pop-Tart Bowl because I really enjoyed watching that game and it pissed me off if I had to see you guys in it.
It's like these tryhards. I feel like the Pop-Tart Bowl is like for the fun teams.
Yeah, I need
tryhards showing up.
Honestly, I need the Pop-Tart Bowl to be 2 mid-ass Big 12 teams and just let them go at it.
Just like score like the final score is like 73 to 66.
I want to be like BYU and Colorado, just like 2 polar opposites, and they're kind of like
they played in a bowl game last year.
They played.
They played in the Alamo Bowl last year. That is correct.
Yeah,
I said that. This sounds familiar.
Colorado got their shit stomped in, and all their players were still playing.
But Shedeur has Giants cleats on, so like he had aura.
Oh,
So yeah.
I mean, we can kick off this week a little bit if we want to talk about the BYU and Colorado matchup. Just touch on it. BYU ranked top 25, freshman quarterback wearing number 47.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sick. The kid's
Colorado sucks.
got like a top, he's got like a bottom 10 QBR in the country, but they're working.
What is Dion doing with his quarterbacks? That's my only question about
Yeah,
Colorado.
like before the
I feel
year,
like it's like a rotation.
He got a Liberty transfer that won like what 11 games
Well, he's
last year.
starting again now.
Oh, I know.
He's back.
But then you go to a white guy as your QB3, and you have two athletes in front of them that are just way better.
Well, like what happened to Julian Lewis? Like is that guy?
Yeah, no. My thing was
It's off week.
why do you go from Caden Salter to the third string, and like if you're gonna be bad and you're just gonna sell out for being bad, like just go to the 5-star freshman. Who cares if he sucks because you guys already suck anyway?
That's the whole gripe I have with UNC right now is why won't we play the 4-star freshman that we have, which is Bryce Baker. We just keep putting Gio Lopez and Max Johnson in, and I get to watch the worst offense in the history of football.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Every once in a while, for
big
a drive.
got shit stomped on.
That was a good game.
Did you see Ben? Did you see the game time was announced for the
Noon.
noon
Ludacris
kickoff?
got to be playing at 9:45 in the morning.
I forgot about that.
You guys-
Ludacris. Yeah. Ludacris
Dude,
is
can
playing
that
his little
game-
stadium
Can
series.
UNC versus Clemson please be on the CW? That'd be such a low point
You
for
didn't-
both of you guys.
You can see they're putting us on Cartoon Network, dude.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
saw
fucking
that.
joke.
It's
on
going to be on.
It's actually the sad thing is it's on ESPN.
It's going to be on True
Oh,
TV,
yeah.
and they're going to play Impractical Jokers with in halftime.
All right. Let's talk about the real ball for the week. Oregon going to Penn State. Probably the biggest game, maybe second biggest game of the weekend. Penn State favorited.
It's definitely
Timmy,
the biggest
you
game
go.
of the weekend. It's arguably, I would say, with how Texas has looked like since that game, it might be the biggest game of the year. So far.
Are you Timmy?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so, pal.
Ethan, never say a word after my name is said ever again. Yeah, I'm not too worried about this one. Dante Moore is Dante Moore, and Drew Aller is Drew Aller. So it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be like another day at practice. I think Dante Moore is facing better competition playing the 2s at practice than this weekend. I'm gonna say that right now.
I can't wait. I cannot
No, I'm just
wait
kidding.
for us
I'm
to
just kidding.
re-release this clip on Sunday morning, and it's just like
I'll pull up the stats. Not stats, but I want to say the Autzen Stadium record for decibels is 127, and they seat
Just the other day.
54. They seat 54,000. It's like my high school stadium. Not actually, I'm kidding. But Beaver Stadium sits 106,000, almost double. Let's just say it's double. Guess what their decibel record is? 122. This can be a cakewalk. It's gonna be a walk in the park for Dante. He's gonna be whispering his plays. So not too worried about it. I'm terrified. It's gonna be a good game.
Okay, big game, James
I'm
Franklin.
nervous. Not nervous, but it's a big game. But I wouldn't say I'm nearly as nervous as I would for the Ohio State game at home last year. But I mean, I really don't, because both teams have just played Montana State, Nevada, Villanova. I don't know if they played Nevada.
Oregon.
I didn't even know Villanova had a football game until 2 weeks ago.
Oregon.
They just been
kick people's shit in the whole year.
Decorian Moore has been so fun.
So good. He's so good.
He's really good.
What's his name? Kadik?
Not even gonna try.
There's Kenyon Sadiq.
Yeah. That's what I was talking
What's
about.
his name? Malik Benson's really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
My thing about this game is neither teams have unveiled 2/3 of their playbook, in my opinion, because they've been waiting for this game and just haven't had to. Oregon definitely has been more creative in their play calling throughout the year so far. Definitely against Oklahoma State, I think they rolled out a couple of things just because Mike Gundy tried to talk the talk, and they were like, we're just going to steamroll these kids. But like Penn State, I bet they haven't run half their plays and packages just waiting for this game. I also think the two biggest helpers for Penn State in this game is one, the environment. It's going to be the whiteout, so I think that obviously will help. And two, they just had a bye week. I think coming off a bye week, having time to prepare is going to be massive. But I still think something about Oregon's offense, man. Like last year, like in the Pac-12 or not Pac-12, in the Big Ten championship game, like Penn State ran the ball for almost 300 yards, like 300 yards on the ground, and they still lost.
Yeah, that's the thing. Oregon's
Team not enough
run defense.
either.
Oregon's run defense just
changed that
struggled.
outcome. Like just because Dylan Gabriel left, like to me, their offense didn't really take a step back. So like what is stopping them from scoring the same amount of points again? And it doesn't really matter what Penn State's offense does. Other than I
just
guess
Oregon
the hiring
defense.
of Jim Knowles as their defensive coordinator, who stopped them, who stopped Oregon, but that was with Ohio State. So like to me, I just don't see a big enough difference there to not see what we saw in the Big Ten championship game again.
Literally, my only thought process going into this game is because I think like it's hard to tell just with both teams. Like both teams have beat the crap out of just not great teams. And
it isn't turned national.
Sorry. Cool. I mean,
What?
That's stuff. Yeah. Just
but it's literally like the only thing going through my mind right now when I'm trying to figure out who I think is going to pick this game, because I think the teams are probably like talent wise and just being at Penn State, I think like pretty even, is just the fact that like I have no faith in James Franklin. Absolutely zero faith in James Franklin, because he's just proven to me year over year that like there's been so many times that I think like they maybe even had more talent than Ohio State. Like thinking back to like when Saquon was there, and like not necessarily as of recent, but like when Saquon was there and some other guys, like that they really had better teams than like some of these, and they just have not been able to win. Like whiteout or not, like I think that they had a good shot to beat Ohio State last year. I think they had a really, really good team last year. Obviously,
They probably should have.
Yeah.
And like it just, I have no faith in his ability to coach in these big games. Like he's just shown for years that he's just going to win every game that he's supposed to win, and then it's going to come to these big games against top 5 teams in Oregon or Ohio State or Michigan, and he's just going to lose. He's going to do like it's going to be a close game, and they're just going to end up losing. It doesn't matter if it's home or on her way, and that's literally all I'm thinking about in this game is just James Franklin. And I don't love Drew Aller, but obviously we've said like he actually has pretty good stats for whatever reason. But I just still
His
QBR is like a 30.
Yeah, his QBR is
he's
really,
been
really
bad
low.
this year.
Also,
But he
I
hasn't
will say we did say the same thing about week 1 with Clemson and LSU. We're like, oh, Brian Kelly's not made for the big game. It's just not going to work.
Kelly is. I know, I agree, but Brian Kelly has won a lot more big games than James Franklin has.
True, but James Franklin picked up a couple big games last year. He's got recent success,
and Brian Kelly was playing the fucking shittiest team on the planet, and James Franklin is playing Oregon. So
That's
I think
awesome.
across the board we have Oregon in this matchup.
Yeah.
I think it will be a really good game.
Also, just to go back on your point, Ben, what big games did Penn State win last year?
Well, they won their first play game ever. So
They did make it to the semifinal.
Yeah, who'd they beat?
I don't even know.
no comment to 2 other CFP teams. How about that? We don't
Boise
need
State and
State and SMU.
SMU.
Oh wait,
You were there.
SMU. I was at that game. Right.
They beat SMU at home. And
2
and
CFP
they
teams.
beat Boise
You
State.
can't take that away
Right.
from them. They're down in the Reckenbrook CFP team. Yeah, no, that was bad. Sorry.
And then they had Notre Dame beat in that college football playoff game.
Yeah, they definitely should have beat Notre Dame. But all right, moving on. Probably second base game of the week. Alabama versus Georgia, the other night game. Yeah, Georgia coming off a big win at Tennessee. Pretty sure Alabama had a bye week last week.
They both did.
Oh, they both did.
Yeah, they both did.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago when Georgia beat Tennessee. Yeah, I think this game is tough for me because Alabama just has Georgia's number, but I just don't think Alabama's team this year is very good.
It's at Georgia, correct?
Yeah, to Georgia.
Yeah.
I'm on the flip side. Not tough
I
for me.
would have agreed with you completely. Like after, like obviously preseason, I picked Alabama to win the SEC, and I
I did
actually
as well.
preseason picked them to lose this game and then beat Alabama in the SEC championship. And then I watched Alabama week 1, and I watched them just get pretty much boat raced by Florida State, who I thought at the time was not a very good team. And then I've watched Florida State, who is actually like Florida State's actually pretty good. And I've kind of come to realize as we've watched now 4 weeks of football that I don't think necessarily Alabama is worse, or I think that they're both just good teams. And Florida State just had the edge being at home, like kind of caught Alabama maybe a little bit by surprise. And I think it kind of woke up Alabama, and Ty Simpson has looked awesome.
Ty Simpson has looked really good this year. Even in the Florida State game, he played very well.
I was gonna say he did pretty well that game.
So like for that reason, I picked Alabama this week. I think it's kind of a little bit of the fact that Alabama's got Georgia's number. Georgia's last game was like this big game that they really did not deserve to win.
No, they did not.
And I think that Alabama just, I mean, for whatever reason, has Georgia's number. And like, I was sitting there when I was going through to make this pick, and I was like, well, maybe it's just Saban. And then I was like, well, wait, last year Kalen DeBoer was there, and they still beat Georgia. And I understand it was at home, crazy Ryan Williams play, but like Ryan Williams is still there. And everybody was kind of questioning Ryan Williams for a little bit and being like, oh, he really had that one big game against Georgia. And then the last couple weeks, he's been elite, back to like.
He did one of those goofy looking Ryan Williams juke moves.
It's
pretty cool.
Dude, I think Georgia's offense also surprised me against Tennessee. I know Tennessee's secondary was a little injured and depleted, but I think their offense definitely surprised me against Tennessee. Gunnar Stockton made some very good throws. That fourth down little slot fade. Obviously, like probably the biggest throw of his career so far, I would think, or one of. So yeah, I think their offense surprised me. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. How
many to be exact?
Probably like 54 at least.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so I just think this game is so tough. I think I don't know. I just don't really trust DeBoer, to be honest. Like that's why I lean Georgia.
Maybe
I do think Alabama is better than people think they are, though.
I agree.
But I don't think
it's always going to be Alabama. Like,
yeah,
at the end of the day,
tough game.
I like one of the like kind of my keys to the game and kind of what I was thinking about before the Tennessee game and like kind of while watching that Tennessee game is that if Alabama, they don't run Stockton that much. Most of his running is like on passing plays and he scrambles and like he's not the greatest athlete, but like he's a good enough athlete that he can scramble around and kind of break up a pocket. And if the Alabama can keep him in the pocket, like he already seems like if you can get a little bit of pressure, like he looked good in that Tennessee game, don't get me wrong, but you can get him a little bit flustered. And I just think like in the way that Georgia kind of just has Tennessee's number, I think Alabama, it's the same. I think that's kind of similar to how I feel this way about this game is I think Alabama just has Georgia's number and they're just going to kind of start finding ways that things just go their way. Like the field goal at Tennessee, which I didn't want Georgia. I picked Georgia, but I don't like Georgia.
I'm not going to say that, but what's his name? Josh Heupel. That's Tennessee's coach.
Yeah.
Just completely unrelated. He handled the last 15 seconds of that game worse than any coach ever would have handled those last 15 seconds, and it made me want to shoot him in the head. But continue about this game, or we can move on to the next game.
But yeah, I lean Alabama literally just for the same reason that I'm just trusting my gut on like how teams have reacted in the past. Just with the fact that James Franklin can't win big games and the fact that Alabama owns Georgia. I mean, that's really just kind of what I'm thinking about. So,
yeah. All right. Next SEC game. LSU at Ole Miss.
Key storylines off the field, right?
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, that's
Are we
insane.
surprised in a way?
I'm not
like,
saying I'm
surprised,
surprised because Whit Weeks is a dude.
But launching it the week they play,
Crazy.
Yeah.
I've seen all sorts of stuff on social media that is like, is this something that like Lane Kiffin like put together to try to take Whit Weeks' mind off football, or is
Is
this
this like
the other way
a-
around? Like,
Is this like your typical like Pakistani arranged marriage or something?
did you see the
You know?
did you see the tweet where it was like Whit Weeks goes to jail Friday night midnight because Landry Kiffin like punches herself in the eye, bruises herself, blames it on Whit Weeks. He doesn't play. He doesn't play because he's in jail on sexual assault charges. Ole Miss wins and over. I was like, dude.
Well, not only that, but have y'all seen all this stuff about that one chick from Alabama that got really big, the blonde chick, Sydney Thomas? Y'all remember her?
saying that
and Lane Kiffin slid in her DMs.
Oh yeah.
That's
But
sick.
she said that. Like she
Yeah, she
said
said
that.
Yeah. I will say I think this game's interesting. It started off as LSU as the favorite, or close to the favorite. I believe one or the other. Yeah. When it opened, and now it's flipped. Ole Miss is pretty much the favorite on every book you're gonna find. It's pretty much a pick'em game still, but I hate to do it because I really love Nussmeier, but I think Ole Miss wins this game.
I feel it, dude. This was like a hard pick for me because I always kind of cheer for LSU just for whatever reason. And same way I went with Ole Miss, but I don't know.
I picked
Ole
LSU
Miss. Ole Miss's quarterback right now. Well, I don't know the guy's name, but I mean, he went
Cannabis,
crazy. Yeah, he went crazy last
D2
week.
transfer,
So.
stud.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I'm like rethinking my pick as LSU's defense is so much better than Ole Miss's defense.
Yeah, the reason I picked LSU. I'm the lone one of us that picked LSU.
I might switch.
I wouldn't even consider yourself a lone one because I was like 51-49 on this one.
Yeah, I agree. I do think it's a pick 'em.
Like,
but the reason that I leaned LSU is, as bad as Clemson is this year, I think our defense played really well that night. So like that's pretty good defense. Florida was a really good defense.
dude, it's also just hard to like. Are these good defenses or is their offense just not clicking?
Well, and I thought the same thing.
Because at the end of it, they had 5 turnovers against Florida, and 1 was a pick 6, and they scored 13 offensive points with 4 other turnovers.
Yeah, no,
So
but you could say the same thing that like Miami's offenses looked awesome, and Florida did the same thing to Miami. Like Florida's defense is good.
Yeah,
That's a good point. Damn, good job, guys. We'll talk there.
I don't know where to. I don't know. It's
like
everything
I think
contradicts
LSU.
you.
I think what's
This
going
is
to help
college
LSU.
football is not real.
LSU's defense is so good though.
Yeah, but I think their offense, like everybody talks about hating like teams playing cupcake games, and LSU played one last week. They played like Southeastern Louisiana or whatever it was.
They played one every week, but Whit Weeks is playing. No one caught what I said. No one caught what I said. Okay.
That would be funnier if Clemson was the only team that they played, because I would agree with you. But they also played Florida, who I don't think. I mean, I know they're also 1-3, but I don't think that's cupcake.
No, yeah, I was kind of joking. Just, but Whit Weeks is playing correct because I know he got ejected, but
that was the first
target. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
It was the third play of that Florida game.
Yeah.
So he played. I mean, he played last week.
Guy just like Susan his head.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Never mind. That was 2 weeks ago.
But yeah, I think LSU maybe like was able to kind of get in stride a little bit last week, playing cupcake, kind of rolling into a game that like they're going to be fired up for.
Better because I really want this. I feel like every LSU Ole Miss game should just be a shootout. Like if the defenses try, like it sucks. Like just let them score a shit ton of points.
But then again, I do think it comes down to LSU's defense.
Each offense
is better.
Each offense should have 12 players on the field.
That was the same.
But Ole Miss, I mean, is always just offense. Lane Kiffin loves.
Like LSU's defense will be better than Ole Miss's defense, because Ole Miss watched their defense give up like 30 points or whatever to Arkansas, who I understand is the
other day in the dugout, we were having a conversation about who the best offensive mind in college football is right now, and I said Lane Kiffin. do you have better answers? Because I'm actually interested. Because the other ones that were talked about were Heupel at Tennessee, Stark at
Texas.
Sark at Texas, Lincoln Riley, and whoever runs. Because I didn't think that Dan Lanning called the offense, but I was gonna say whoever calls the offense.
I was say I would have disagreed with you last year because I probably would have said Chip Kelly, but he's obviously not in college anymore.
Chip Kelly, man. Just miss him.
For me, like Lane Kiffin, like every offense he did at Bama was just, I feel like,
awesome. But I feel like Sark was the same way. I think Sark's offense is pretty good too.
Yeah, but like I feel like with recency bias, like the first 3 weeks, their offense looked terrible.
Yeah, I think that was more of the quarterback looking terrible.
That's fair. I just wanted to see what your guys' thoughts on that were.
I'm just blanking on who are some other like really good offenses.
Consensus top 5 or no?
Yeah, he's a top 5 offensive mind for sure.
I'll live with that.
I'm just trying to think. I don't know why I'm blanking on some of the other like really good offenses. Because like I keep trying to think of like Big 12 schools, but I don't. But I guess I don't even know that any of the Big 12 schools necessarily right now have really.
I don't know who runs the offense at TCU, whether it's Sonny Dykes or the OC, but you could say that that's a lethal passing attack with how good Josh Hoover's been over the past 2 years.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna give some credit to Brent Key. Not Brent Pry. Brent Key, the guy at
give all that credit to Brent Pry there.
Brent Key, the coach at Georgia Tech. Their offense is fun to watch. It's not as like flashy and like just absolutely.
Gaines King runs the shit out of the ball, man. You just can't.
Yeah, but I mean, their offense is. I mean, they pretty much.
Dude, that dude's gonna be brain dead by age of 25.
Yeah, but I mean, they pretty much run a.
You can argue. What's that guy's name at ASU? Kenny Dillingham? Is that his name?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dillingham's got a pretty good offensive mind. Who's the
offensive coordinator at Oregon to me, or just Danning call the plays?
No, he definitely does.
I think whoever runs that offense, I think that's a good offense too.
I meant to say this earlier.
I know the name. It's not like ringing a bell right now.
Oh,
do
you want it? Are you gonna get it, Timmy, or no?
It's like, hold on. It's Stein, right? What?
Yeah, he just said it, but yeah.
Oh, I didn't even. You're like breaking up.
No, I meant to say this when we were talking about the Penn State Oregon game. I'm talking, Smitty. Gosh. I meant to say this, but I would love to be a fly.
Ethan, we should just shoot and kill you.
All right. I would love to be a fly on the wall for Dan Lanning's pregame speech this weekend. I think that would be
that one
sick.
gets released. I hope it gets released. I mean,
I hope he like breaks a helmet again or something. That was so cool. I'm surprised we don't see stuff like that more often.
Yeah. All right. Next,
talking about offensive minds, and we brought up Lincoln Kelly.
No. He was gonna make a good point. He was gonna go. No, never mind. I'm not.
I think Brandon was about to make the same transition that I was about to make. Is that we were talking about offensive minds and Lincoln Riley, and
USC, Illinois,
USC.
My bad. I was gonna go somewhere else because I was thinking of last week. I thought he was gonna go to Kurt Cignetti in Indiana, and I was like, we missed that one.
I was gonna go USC, Illinois.
No, that's fine. Can I just mention something real quick? There was a special magic number in that Indiana-Illinois game last week, and that number was less than a touchdown, and that number was completely wrong. Fucking 63-10 is crazy.
Wow, good point, Ben.
All right.
The fuck?
Fernando, I also did see something as of like after week 4 that Fernando Mendoza, somebody had him projected as the number 1 overall pick now.
Yeah, he's the Heisman frontrunner now with Mateer hurt.
Well, I saw the odds came out after Mateer got hurt, and it is Mendoza, and then tied. It was like Dante Moore and somebody else tied for second.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dante Moore already won it though. It's really just whoever's going to be in second at this point.
I'll find out for real. Jalen Daniels.
It's just
7,000.
The Mendoza's like, where did he come from?
Mendoza can Cal.
That's right, because he's kind of fun, but like,
I mean, he was good last
Francisco
year.
Mendoza. That's not a Heisman winning quarterback name. That's not a number one overall pick name. You're never gonna be like a quarterback of Indiana, the Heisman winner. So,
that's a good point.
His odds keep up, but he's still balling. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I watched a decent amount of that game last week, and he was like perfect. Fernando Mendoza was perfect in that game. Obviously, clearly they won by 53 points or whatever, but like he looked incredible against a team in Illinois that like everybody thought to be pretty damn good. So, guess this is kind of a measuring tape game.
What does this mean for Duke?
No, I still think Illinois is a really good team, really talented. Top 25 team. Honestly, they'll probably win the Big Ten somehow. So yeah, just it's not a bad loss at all for Duke. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. But yeah, I think Illinois huge bounce back game this week. Huge.
Are you just saying that in hopes? Is that part of that pick?
Yeah, I'm praying because you guys all have USC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need the double points. So yeah.
I kind of want to switch to Illinois.
No.
I'll grant you a switch to LSU if.
Dude,
no, I don't really care.
I want you what?
I don't care. It feels wrong picking USC because they're just stupid idiots.
Yeah,
they're losers.
I also I don't know, something about a touchdown underdog at home in a Big Ten game against some random team from California.
What does touchdown underdog mean? What does all that mean?
I can't tell. Is he trolling? Oh, he is. Okay. I just it doesn't make sense for me to pick a California team in a Big Ten game.
But you'll pick a Oregon team.
No, Oregon's different. Oregon's different. Right, Timmy?
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just think Illinois.
I'm leaning USC. Illinois
is gonna get the boys right. Wrong coach.
No, that's the right coach. He's just not going to get the boys right.
Say,
Luke Altmaier's season is over. Oh, I forgot to mention Altmaier all over Twitter for being at the bar prior to the Indiana game. So
prior,
not the night before, but he was
15 minutes before kickoff.
Yeah, right. But he was doing what Cade Klubnik is doing. He was pre-gaming.
Kyron Drones, by the way.
You build team chemistry, you go to the bar with your friends.
Well, Kyron Drones,
like
NFL GMs. Anyone was so stupid to pick him. Maybe the Jets GM, maybe draft him in a Madden franchise. Don't pick Kyron Drones. He's a cancer to more than the locker room.
Okay.
At DEA.
Okay. I'm picking USC because Illinois looked absolutely horrible.
Yeah, I'm on the Trojan train.
I don't even just
outlier. You got to throw it away, Smitty. Okay, my question is if Illinois loses that game by 7 points, what's the spread this week? I bet they're favored.
I don't know if they're favored, but yeah.
Okay, but it's not 7.5.
It's probably 3.5. I think USC has looked good.
You know what that's called? When you throw the outlier away, and you get that? That's called value, Smitty. You should try it.
Okay. Well, in college, it's also said that being at home makes you gives you a touchdown of favoritism. So that means the books mean that.
I thought it was just 3.
That's NFL. Apparently in college.
Okay, so you're saying it's actually.
So the Panthers are only supposed to lose by 2. Let's go.
I'm saying that if it was neutral site, it would be. I think if it's neutral site, it would be
14.
Yeah,
which helps my point even more.
Yeah. That's on me.
Yeah, that stat helps my point, Smitty.
Yeah, that just makes me feel. But that to me, Like Vegas knows. Vegas knows something.
No shit. That's why they make the lines, Smitty.
Yeah. So like if Vegas has that line that high, like I'm going with Vegas.
Never go with Vegas.
Never. All right. What do you guys want to talk about next?
Auburn,
Nothing.
Texas
Okay. Jeez, that was quick. Good game.
A&M. Look, I like A&M a
A
lot.
lot of points being scored this game, by the way. Sorry, continue.
Yeah,
I like
Auburn
A&M a
didn't
lot.
Auburn dropped out of the rankings, didn't they?
Yeah, I
For,
think that's
like, why?
Yeah, that I thought.
Pass interference. That's why they dropped out.
yeah. I mean, they should have won.
Okay.
that game.
Oklahoma cheated.
I mean, 10
I
sacks.
was cheering
10
for them when I
sacks.
picked them.
Listen, having 10 sacks and still being in a position to like a really good position to win that game is kind of wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they looked pretty good for being on the road against that
Yeah.
quarterback, and
100 pitches yet.
I thought that made me feel pretty good about Auburn. It makes me actually really interested in the game. Auburn's on bye next week, but the game in 2 weeks when Georgia goes to Auburn is very interesting to me. Because as Saban has said, weird things happen in Jordan-Hare, especially at night.
Elaborate.
No. But I that game will be interesting to me. That's like one of the not as talked about, I feel like, crazy environments in college football is Jordan-Hare at Auburn. It's obviously not up there with like LSU or Penn State or some of those giant names, but I think it's
The Penn State experience isn't all that.
Okay.
Trust me.
But
To me.
I think that game at Jordan-Hare will be electric, especially since if Auburn can, even if they lose this week, obviously they're on the road, and I think Texas A&M is really good. If you guys want to pick that game over, I didn't see. I was going through trying to find ranked matchups. I guess I just looked over it and I ran out. That's why I put the Clemson versus the bye week on there. But if you guys want to pick that game, we can pick that game.
I mean,
I
want to pick it, but I don't want to get wrong.
I just think Marcel Reed is really, really fun to watch right now. I think he's like fifth.
I figured it was a game that we probably were all picking Texas A&M. Would I have been wrong?
I don't know. I really don't know.
It's a tight spread for it
Could
being
I
a home
take-
game for A&M.
What?
could I take if we picked it? Could I take the over?
No.
Then let's not pick it.
I'm not even, I mean, you might be right. I'm not even sure I like that number. That magic, that number,
Random magic
that
number.
random number. I don't know that I'm looking at it. I don't know that I love that for
What
how
do
the
you-
games that Auburn's played.
What do you? 63?
No.
Or am I way off?
What game are you looking at?
I
The
don't know.
Auburn Texas A&M game?
Which one is
The number
60?
I'm seeing is well lower than 63 and wouldn't have hit last week.
What is
I
it?
think it's
I'm just thinking of a different game.
52 and a half.
Close.
Even better. Even better.
Yeah, what does 41 mean?
Hoopify. Shout out Hoopify. Yeah, but
know
I mean,
that.
I think I would pick Texas A&M if we ended up.
I would pick Texas A&M mainly because it's at home.
Yeah.
And I think Marcel Reed's good. And like they
The thing is
still win a lot of
we're getting to that point in the season where Texas A&M just falls apart.
True.
But
Prior to this year, they didn't
I'm
have
thinking
Casey
it's
Concepcion.
I was
And that
thinking
boy's
of
Yeah.
the Tennessee Mississippi State game, Smitty. That's 63 and a half.
I like that number better than Auburn's played low scoring games for the most part.
We can transition that to the Mississippi State game because that's a undefeated Mississippi State team holding a win over last year's Big 12 champs, hosting Tennessee team coming off a dominant showing against UAB. So they got their little offensive get back against UAB after struggling to get anything going in the second half against Georgia.
It's like I was so confused. I was like they scored. I was like they scored a lot of points to be struggling.
Well, I mean, it stalled out after the first 20.
They had a bad third quarter, I'd say.
They had a bad end of the second quarter and a bad third quarter.
Yeah, but I mean, I still don't know that I'm going to put too much merit into them having any stall outs, saying that they were playing Georgia, a defense that is kind of
Fair.
owned them for a little bit, and they scored 41 points.
Very fair. But they were in, I mean, I feel like they almost put themselves into the driver's seat. They were hopping up into the car about to get in the driver's seat.
Oh, I mean, we all said that Tennessee deserved to win that game. I mean, they literally had a field goal to win it. It wasn't even a long field goal. Like, it's not like it was like a 55-yarder.
Yeah, the kid should have made that field goal, right,
Okay,
Brandon?
if we're going back to this, I mean, okay, so okay.
Are you going to break down Josh Heupel's incredible?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, because it's second down.
Terrible game.
It's second down. You run the ball, and then you can call a timeout because you have 2 left. But he doesn't. He takes it all the way down to like 7 seconds, like an odd number, calls the timeout. Then he discusses and he runs the field goal kicker out there on third down. Or he runs him out there, but then he brings him back, and then they run the ball again. Or they're supposed to, and then they get a full start. And so then you run your kicker out there on third down, and you decide to kick it with 7 seconds left instead of just running it again, calling your last timeout, and then kicking on fourth down.
He left the game with a timeout in his pocket.
I mean, it was your kicker has no shot of making that field goal after you do that to him. You run him out there, you bring him back, and then you run him back out there again.
What was it? It was like a 42-yarder or something after the
43, and then he drilled a 42 in halftime or in overtime.
I think it was 47 after the penalty.
No, it was 43 because the one in overtime was 42, and it was literally like the exact same spot. Just obviously 1 yard difference.
I blame that one on Heupel, not on the kicker, to be honest. So
yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, I have a lot of faith in Tennessee. I mean, I'm not buying a ton of Mississippi State hype, even though they looked good when they beat.
I want them to lose just because I'm with Timmy and I don't like Brandon Walker and I don't want to hear about them beating Tennessee.
Yeah. The coach seems like a cool dude. I don't mind the coach, but like you just said, Brandon Walker's a loser.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not buying all the hype. I think that was kind of like just Arizona State played so bad in that first half, and then to be honest, they were down 17-3 at halftime, and then really lost. They didn't give up a ton of points. They played better than Mississippi State in that second half. I think that was more of just a non-show. Arizona State just didn't show up in the first half. Then Mississippi State's I'm not saying that they're a bad team, but I also think Tennessee and Arizona State are on 2 completely different levels.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm not buying any Mississippi State hype. I think Tennessee wins that one comfortably. They covered the random number that's put there.
I agree. You want to talk about the Indiana-Iowa game or the Ohio State game? Because
Ohio State.
I'd rather talk about the Notre Dame Arkansas game.
Okay, we can get to that one.
We did pick that one, yeah.
Oh wait,
I actually think that game. The reason I put that on there, and I was a little bit surprised. This one for me was just as hard to pick as the LSU game and the Alabama game. I think this is just as much of a toss-up.
Bro, okay, I'm looking at it right now. This opened at the beginning of the week as Notre Dame at random magic number at minus 12.5, favored by 12.5. It's all the way down to 4.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is when I put it, when I went through and was because a lot of times if I'm going through picking games, and I did that this morning, I go through and I'm trying to just find the games that have the closest random numbers, just because I think that just means that they should be close games rather pick'ems. And I looked at it, and when I looked at it this morning, so that means from 12 hours, maybe less, it was 7.5.
Yeah, it's down to 4.5.
So I think that this game is going to be a sneaky, really, really good game. I think Arkansas's quarterback is really good. And they're at home.
Yeah, Notre Dame going to play Arkansas is such a strange scheduling decision.
Yes.
But yeah, I think Arkansas being at home is definitely going to help. I also just think, I don't know. I just don't think Notre Dame is, even though they did play really well last week, I just don't think that they're like, I don't know, because like I picked them, but this game is just so weird to me. I think you're right. Like it's just a weird game.
But I think it could just be like a sneaky, like really good, probably I think high scoring game. I think Arkansas's offense is good.
Yeah. Yo, random here, just because Notre Dame played Purdue last week. Did you see Purdue's first touchdown? Sick play.
That was sweet.
It really
That was
just ran
so
a halfback dive, and then the running back threw to the quarterback behind the line of scrimmage. So sick.
Yeah.
Even more
That was-
random, and I know this is NFL, but the Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown, sort of similar, also sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I was actually, it's
That
not
was
the
cool.
same like play design, but
But they're just
play-
similar in a way.
Yeah, another play that from last week, or I guess maybe no, it was 2 weeks ago, when South Carolina played Vandy, and like I know it's not like necessarily like a trick play, but when Pavia literally like ran across the line of scrimmage, like past the defender, and then found a window and like turned around and threw it back to the running back to pick up the first down. I was sitting there in my head, I was like, that's like got to be the most Diego Pavia like quarterbacking like ever, but it was kind of sick.
Yeah. Yeah, this game is actually very interesting now that I'm like actually like looking at it.
I was surprised that we all picked Notre. Like I'm leaning Notre Dame. I think Jeremiah Love will be. I don't think they like the teams that they've played that have.
They finally started to run the ball last week. Like,
Yeah.
You think?
okay, but like, I mean, I know Purdue's obviously not good, but like I feel like they finally just were like, all right, screw it, let's just hand the ball off every play and just dominate.
But I think the talent on the fronts of Miami and Texas A&M
Are way
not
better.
Really are just not rivaled at all by what Arkansas is going to put out. So
Oh
like,
yeah. Okay, yeah.
like that is to me in my head like you've almost like CJ, like you almost had to throw in these other games, got CJ Carr going. Like he's impressed me. He's looked better than I anticipated.
Yeah.
And so now like he's kind of in rhythm. And then you also you're like it's almost like you're hiding this secret weapon back here when you start playing a couple worse defensive fronts.
Yeah.
And you just got the best running back in the country that you can hand it off to 25 times. Like
Yeah.
I think they're going to control possession and control the clock a lot in this game. And Taylor Green, the quarterback at Arkansas, I think is one of probably a top 5 quarterback in the SEC, just like sneakily top 5 quarterback in the SEC, especially with how some of those top guys have played this year.
Yeah.
I think it could be a really, really interesting game.
I agree with that.
So I was very close to picking Arkansas. Very, very close.
I wouldn't be surprised if they win. I'll say that. I will say something that'll be surprising this week. I think Washington keeps this game against Ohio State a lot closer.
I thought that could be a good game. I'm not going to say who I want to win because I hope both teams lose every game ever. But
yeah, I mean,
it's at Washington.
Yeah. Ohio State having to go to Washington. I feel like this is going to be Julian Sand's first true like road game. I could be wrong there.
No, I don't think they've got. I think
that's true.
Like at a sneaky, like very good like venue, like Washington's
That place
stadium.
is sweet. Yeah, that place is
I mean,
sweet.
pack it out.
What I've heard, it gets loud.
Yeah, they pack it out for good games, and I just think traveling across the country, playing Washington, who is not bad at all. I mean, their quarterback is pretty good, right? That I can think of. I think he's pretty good this year. I just think they keep this game.
No, I hadn't even been paying attention.
This is a game that like I could see Washington keeping it close. Like I do, but for whatever reason, I have a feeling that this is a game that like the public is looking at and like, and looking at it and being like, oh, like they could keep this game close, and it's a game that Ohio State just comes out and just absolutely. But
They win by like 900.
yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling. Is that like this is a game that like everybody's kind of like thinking too far about it being a close game, and then that's when Ohio State's just like, nah, screw everybody. We're just gonna beat them by 80, and like. I don't think it's necessarily like maybe it's a scare for a half. That's kind of how I'm feeling about this game. Like they keep it close for a half, and then Ohio State kind of just.
I don't want to pick because obviously Colorado State, UC Davis, and Washington State are not Ohio State's defense, but they've put up 38 points, 70 points, and 60 points.
Yeah, but UC Davis was ranked in the FCS, so that's a real team. You can take that.
And
You
he's
can take that
Jamon
one
Williams
for
is the
real.
quarterback I was talking
They
about. He's got
also
more
they
than
were also
60
the
yards rushing
national.
in every game and more than 225 passing yards in every game. Hasn't done a
He
pick
was
yet.
also like 5'6".
Yeah, he's super tiny. I think that's going to be the biggest like separator between these two teams is going to be size. I mean, and obviously like coaching, but
He's 5'11" on the roster.
yeah, that means he's 5'9".
Yeah, how tall was Bryce Young on Alabama's roster? Does anybody
Probably
remember?
like 5'10", 5'11", which I'm pretty sure he's 5'11".
I look up Bryce Young height says 5'10".
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing
5'11"
wrong.
with cleats. Also, T-Mac is 6'8".
On
He's been
on
awesome.
Alabama's thing it says he's 6 foot.
Probably like 6 foot,
At the
205.
combine he measured 5'10" and 1/8.
With some tiny
He's got
ass hands.
cleats on. He's 5'11".
There's really no such thing as 5'11" though, so he might as well be
That is
6 foot.
true. That is true.
Oh. Because if you're 5'9", you're basically 5'10". If you're 5'10", you're basically 5'11". And when you're 5'11", you just say you're 6'1". And then, but you also have shoes on, so you're at least 6'3". So you're probably 6'3".
But if you're 6'3", nobody's ever 6'3", 'cause 6'3" guys are like point guards, and you'd always want your quarterback to be a small forward, so you might as well just put down 6'5".
You got a point.
Oh, yo, you got an insurance, Ron.
Let's go.
Red Sox
Coming
beat the Blue Jays again tonight, and
We're just selling the division. We're
one
just
game-
shitting it away.
one more game tomorrow for the sweep. Just saying.
Just shitting it away.
But yeah,
Okay. Ben, you got any other like things to add? You and your
About
just like-
anything ever?
yeah, anything this
We
week.
have those
Unfortunately-
crazy stat lines of D3 football.
Oh yeah. What were the teams? I
It was
forgot.
the
I'll
U.S.
pull it
Marine
up.
Merchant Academy,
I thought it was Coast
and
Guard.
it was Nichols.
No,
Yes.
that's not
Say that
right.
one more time.
Pass.
U.S. Coast
I thought
Guard,
it was
U.S.
Coast Guard.
Coast Guard Academy, and
Nichols and Coast Guard. So I had one right.
150
Nichols and Coast Guard.
points, 14 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
Most
record.
points and touchdown passes.
Does
And
anybody like what was the final? Did anybody look?
92
No, I
to
don't
60.
care.
Yeah, 92 to 60 in favor of the Coast Guard Academy.
Yeah, 14,
Yeah.
14 touchdown passes is just
What the
insane.
quarterback throw for? Read the quarterback stat line.
Yeah, I gotta find a
Well,
box.
'cause-
All I have is the screenshot from Instagram.
Yeah, because what I was like, kind of what I was thinking about is I was thinking about that Patrick Mahomes Baker Mayfield game where it was like 66 to 59 or whatever, and then I did the math in my head and I was like, that's 125 points, and I was
Okay.
like, that means they scored 27 more points than that game was, which was 66 to 59. Like that is a ton of points.
Okay, here we go. He went. So one of the quarterbacks.
Nichols quarterback threw the ball 44 times, completed 28 passes for 580 yards, 7 touchdowns, and a pick.
Coast Guard quarterback
He had
went
20. He had
24
24 completions. Is that what you said?
touchdowns.
And then they had another guy complete a pass for a touchdown as well.
Oh my god!
And then they had a
Their
running back.
went
Oh my
18
goodness
for
gracious.
153 and 4 touchdowns.
Wait, how much? Wait, the Nichols quarterback. How many passes did he complete?
He completed 28.
28.
He was 28 of 44.
For how many yards?
580.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, listen to this. They had a wide
That's
receiver.
22. That's 21 yards per completion.
This
Bro,
this
yeah,
this
that's
stat's
insane.
crazier.
They had a wide receiver go for 10 catches, 290 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
It's averaging 29 yards a catch.
Coast Guard had 2 wide receivers. One went 6 for 158 and 2 touchdowns. The other went 8 for 137 and 3 touchdowns.
And the kid that had 3 touchdowns receiving for Coast Guard threw a touchdown pass as well.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other one is we can
Insane.
you guys
We've-
wanna talk about these defense
No,
stats.
these individual stat lines. 2 of them are from the ODAC actually. Matt Conroy from Shenandoah had in a 7-42 loss to Hamden Sydney. I don't know what position these people play, but he had 22 tackles and 1 interception.
He had 22
A lot.
tackles in the game.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they
Oh,
lost
that's
42 to 7.
Yeah, they
Was on
lost like
defense a lot,
35.
but the score of it. So
It was just he was the only person playing defense. It was 11-on-1.
Then there was a kid at Guilford that they lost
They also lost
35 to 7 to
7-30.
Washington and Lee, and he had 24 tackles and a pass breakup.
And then
I
another
just-
dude, I don't know what school this is, but they played Wheaton. They lost 7-50, but he had 19 tackles. What is going on?
Okay, to be fair, this one might be the most impressive. His name's Jacob Erickson. I don't know what school he goes to versus
Oh, yeah.
Sound. He had 11
Puget Sound, idiot.
Puget Sound. They won 51 to 43. He had 11 tackles, but 5 of them were sacks.
That's insane. Yeah, 51 to 43, and you got 5 sacks. That dude's not going to class this week. You don't have to.
Well, and then also, like, the guy in the bottom, this is also kind of impressive. It was 14. They lost 16 to 14, so it was a close game, and this guy had 20 tackles. I mean, that's still crazy.
All that for nothing.
is this just like I bet these are just all middle linebackers that are just like should not be at a D3 school and are just
That or like I have a weird feeling of like these two guys, like Matt, like the guy from Shenandoah and Guilford. What if they're like just like corners that are just so bad in coverage that they just keep getting up
Just keep going that.
like the guy has one pick. Like what if he's just so bad in coverage that he gave up 22 catches on him and he just had 22 tackles because of it?
The one pick was like tipped or something, goes right into his lap.
Like
so basically they're Timmy.
I want you to step up here. Let's play some press man on this guy.
Nah,
No.
outside zone.
I'm playing
Deep
deep third, bro.
take it or leave it, coach. I dare you to put in my backup. That kid doesn't even know how to spell football.
While we're on the topic of D3 sports, I think this needs to be mentioned because it's the first time that I've ever actually seen our Lynchburg's volleyball program do anything of note. Don't shake your head. This is important. 13-1. They are receiving votes to be in the top 25. And this is the first time I've ever seen the top 25 for D3 women's volleyball. But Laverne is first on that list, who we beat the shit out of. So, but I wanted to put that out there that our women's volleyball program is 13-1.
Didn't they just
They're
have like a big win?
Yeah,
They're
they just
13-1, but they're not ranked.
No, they're not, and they just beat number 6th ranked Washington and Lee, and they're
What do they
still
have
not
to do
ranked in the
to get
rankings
ranked?
yesterday. They're the
NCAA, that is
most votes.
sexist. This is sexist.
They're receiving the most
Women,
votes
you're
out
not
of
gonna put 'em-
anybody else outside of the top 25, but by a long shot, they literally doubled the votes out of the
So they're
next
26th.
person. So they're 26th in the country. But they
This is
they
sexist.
hold a better record than a lot of these other teams.
Just
but
because
I-
they're women doesn't mean you don't have to vote for them. Give them some votes.
Timmy, you should apply to be on that voting process and get
Yep.
some votes for them.
Okay.
Timmy voted
Hey.
for D3 women's volleyball.
I can't imagine which schools would have the most votes.
Misericordia. Shout out to Willie McCoy III for I think Sam Houston, maybe.
Yeah.
Go you.
You. Nice.
No, UTSA.
Any final thoughts for anybody?
No. I hope my picks do good. I really need them to.
Yeah.
I'm going undefeated this week.
It's
Book it.
I mean, Timmy's got a 3-game lead on me, and then I have a 2-game lead on Ben, and then Ben has a 5-game lead on Brandon.
Okay, it's because we're not picking the way I want to pick.
We physically are not allowed to pick the way you want to pick.
Why would that be easier? I feel like there's
You're
no
not
way that
physically.
would
No
be
one's holding
easier.
you back.
Oh, they're holding me back. There's
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, half the games that we're picking are like the magic numbers are like less than 3.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel like picking games outright is easier than picking them against something.
Brandon's just pissed off because he's under 500.
Yeah. I mean, well, Timmy's technically got even more of a lead because he's got the
Because I have the 4. Yeah.
4.
Yeah. I've got two. I've got 2, right?
You've got
I just
2. I've
know
got
how
1.
I just know how it works.
Brandon's striving for his first point this week.
I've been trying to take one of those games or 2 of those games every week. None of them have hit.
Timmy's going for Timmy's going for another one this week too because I didn't realize he did
Who?
Arkansas.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
I picked Alabama and LSU, and I was the only one to pick those 2. Brandon was the only one.
I might switch.
Nope, not allowed.
We should just start.
Picks locked in.
We should start putting these games into college football 26 and just
sipping them.
beforehand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to see what happens.
The final
Okay,
scores are gonna be like 80 to 68.
4-minute quarters.
Yeah.
Okay, well, post picks tomorrow. This will go live sometime tomorrow. We'll be back next week for more football, and me and Ben can go back.
Maybe basketball if
Maybe
somebody
basketball.
can do it. Maybe.
Yeah, and then Ben, we can argue back and forth about whose team is worse next week.
Yeah, that works. I'm down with that.
Okay, so see y'all next week.
Those suck.